Hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new video of Hubert, and I'm back with another update for my Mount Massive Asylum Minecraft map. This is update number 8 and it is for the spring of 2025. And so currently we are standing outside in the front of the building again. As you can see, I have been putting off that front courtyard for quite some time now. I'm hoping to finally get some more work done on it by the next update, but that is probably unlikely, so I'll probably more likely just keep putting it off. But a lot of the work I have done since the last update has been more so on the interior, and so I think we're going to just head inside just right away here. So yeah, once again at the lobby of the administration block. And so basically all of the rooms are pretty much done. Stuff like fixtures, walls, floors, ceilings. So all of that is done in the administration block, with the exception of the recreation hall and chapel. So everything else in the administration block is pretty much done, including the basement, which we'll see in about a few minutes here. But yeah, again, just a lot of details. So I've even got all of the ventilation ducts in place as well. So yeah, all of the lights, the signs. I'm still needing to add in some radiators, but once I do get done with that, it'll be pretty much good to go. So yeah, we got restrooms here. We also got this room. So yeah, this is pretty much done as well. So stuff like pipes as well have been added. Going on to the other side here, it looks pretty much the same, so yeah, just more details. Again, got those ventilation ducts. And just another room here. Oh yeah, so I have swapped out the iron bars for chains to represent the actual, the curtain rods. And they look a lot better, in my opinion. They actually look more like curtain rods now. So the chains is one of my favorite materials, actually. I also used it as part of the fences, the chain link fences as well. So they look really good. But anyways, yeah, here is that basement. So I do have the actual basement in place now for the administration block. And so this is what it looks like. So brick walls, wood ceiling, and also just a cement floor. So here is what it looks like here. Oh yeah, I need to fix the orientation on some of those lights there, yeah. And so we do have signs as well. So they're all in place. And yeah, so that's a dead end. And then here is one of the rooms down here, which I believe is an office. So there's a couple of offices down here. And so yeah, there's no hole there as well. So again, this map has fixed the damage, so to say. Everything is repaired. Yeah, so there's, this just goes back to the staircase here. This is the back of the staircase. And then here's, just another office here. It's interesting that there's actual office space down here. Okay, so there's like a little step up there. And so this leads to the electric room. Also really like the ceiling here. It's got like the cobblestone walls. So if you look at the ceiling there, that's actually supposed to be there. There's like these metal like rungs. And so yeah, I can see that this kind of intersects with the courtyard. So the ceilings in some of the rooms in the basement are really tall, and they're so tall that they actually kind of intersect with some areas. So you're going to see that in some of the other rooms as well. It's just something, it's one of the challenges I've had with building this map, is some areas intersect. And at that point, you have to decide what you want to keep. So if there's like two rooms that intersect, well, which room do you want to add, and which one do you kind of want to kind of not include part of? Because you can't have two rooms in the same space. That just doesn't make sense. So it's just one of the challenges I've had with building this. But yeah, we just have more storage rooms More signs. So yeah, here's another storage room. And so this goes to the machine room. Yep, so this is where the generator would be. You have like this large space here. This is the biggest room in the basement of the administration block. And it also has 2 pump rooms. And so this is what it looks like here. So this area is underneath the lobby of the main floor. And so here we have one of the pump rooms, one of 2 pump rooms. And here's the other one on the other side here. It's basically the same, except it has 1 extra light fixture for some reason. And I think that's pretty much it for the basement. So yeah, now we've just made a full circle. Hang on. Okay. I thought that sign, I thought there was a typo. So I got kind of a bit startled. I was like, what? But that's going to be it for the basements. And then as for the rest of the administration block, I don't really have a whole lot to show that wouldn't just be a repeat of previous videos. So I've shown the interior of the administration block for a few times now. So since I have all of the rooms done, I figure I would try something different and kind of like flying between the floors. What that would kind of look like. So again, kind of gives show off some new angles of this actual map, and just kind of see how everything kind of comes together, you know, how everything just kind of fits together. It's actually quite interesting. That's been one of my favorite parts of building this map. So while one of my least favorite parts has been how stuff intersects, one of my favorite is actually how everything kind of just comes together. And so yeah, you can see that the roof has also been filled in. So I've just filled in like areas that you can't access with smooth sandstone. And this is kind of the reason why I do it, is you can just kind of fly through everything. There's no like blank rooms. So yeah, I've even filled in the towers as well. There's no interior for those. So yeah, this is pretty much the roof of the administration block. And so just kind of flying over the 3rd floor here. Again, it looks really cool. See everything, how everything just comes together and how everything's all kind of lit up. And so I think that's it for the administration block. So yeah, these are the corridors that connect the administration block to the female ward. And so again, I'm going to try to like show off what that looks like. So it looks really cool, especially if everything like lit up. So I am quite happy with how this turned out. Oh yeah, here's the female ward cafeteria. It's pretty much done. I still have to work on some things. But this is what it looks like. And I also have this pantry at the back here. Well, it is the back, but this is actually at the front of the building. You know, where the front of the administration block is. So this is kind of technically the front. And so, yeah, more offices here. Yeah, just some offices back here. Staircases, this you've seen before. So all the staircases are complete. And this is the roof of the female ward. So this is what it looks like here. Again, very nice to see it all lit up and everything. And so yeah, the interior is pretty much almost done as well. And again, you can see everything from the rest of the complex here. And here's that area that's kind of part of the female ward. So that has also been completed as well. I'll show off the exterior in a bit. But I think that's pretty much it for the female ward. So again, really cool to see it kind of from the side. And just look in and then just see all of these rooms and all of them lit up. So yeah, here are the baths, the female ward baths. I don't believe I've shown this before. So this area is relatively new. So it's all coming together quite nicely here. And so yeah, I got some signs here. Yeah, those are for directing you to the laundry room. So there's a couple of those. I know there's one that's lit up, so I'll make sure to show that. So yeah, there's the laundry room. Speaking of which, yeah, that's the laundry room, which is one of the few rooms in the female ward that I've not finished yet. So yeah, not a whole lot going on back here. Okay, yeah, there's one of the signs. Yeah, so again, that directs you to the laundry room. Here's the main entrance. You've seen this before. And I'll make sure to show off that basement, although that's going to be pretty hard to do because it's really dark down here. But yeah, you can see that I have done it as well. The basement in the female ward is really small compared to the administration block, and especially the male ward. But that is pretty much it for the female ward here. Yeah, just a lot of dorms here, which I've spent a lot of time working on. So it's taken a fair bit of time, but it was worth it in the end. So here is the exterior of this area. So I have finally finished this. So it's interesting how it kind of came full circle. So I started with the female ward, but then the last area I did for exterior was this area here, just next to the female ward. So I've basically worked in a circle here. So yeah, you can see this area has like balconies too. So this looks very similar to one of the areas of Buffalo State Hospital, which would be male ward B specifically, especially if these, again, balconies here. So I'm pretty sure, I'm like 99% sure that's what they based it off of. Because it just looks really similar. There are some differences, of course, but it's for the most part, it's basically just male ward B for Buffalo State Hospital, former Buffalo State Hospital. But here is the hospital here. Not a whole lot for that or its interior that I've pretty much worked on, except just like this courtyard, the recreation area. I have done a lot for that. So one of the few interior rooms I do have in the hospital at the moment, it's kind of this chapel area that's part of the crematorium. And again, I am using chains for curtain rods. And I do have the chimney. I've started working on the chimney. It kind of looks like a water tower, but this is actually supposed to be a chimney that's over the crematorium. So yeah, here is the recreation area. And you can kind of see I've worked on this area here. It's kind of the sunken area that has tunnels at the end. That has tunnels at each end. And so I still have to add in the pipes here. That's why it looks so sparse, is because there's supposed to be a whole lot of pipes here. But I do have the balconies in here and some other details. So yeah, don't think it turned out too bad. So yeah, here's the other tunnel, which does go up to the this prison yard that's just off of the prison block in the recreation area. And so this tunnel is much longer and also has water as well, which leads me to believe that it connects to the sewer. But it eventually does just kind of come to a dead end. And this is underneath the prison block, B block in the prison block, which I'm going to show in just a moment. But here's just the rest of the recreation area. Here's actually what it looks like from underneath. So again, it does look pretty cool. Again, I achieved this because of just filling in everything with smooth sandstone, or just really any kind of block. But here are the hallways for the administration block. I always keep getting asked about this. People keep asking me this all the time, is where do the hallways connect to in the prison block? And the simple answer is they don't. In fact, this one actually intersects with this room right here with the holding cells. And yeah, so this one just comes to a dead end. So they just terminate after a while. They don't actually connect to any of the rooms in the prison block. But here is the prison block, speaking of which. Wow, I'm already talking about that. So again, I have been working on the interior for it. And so yeah, this is B block. And so it's one of the solitary confinement wings. And so I do have the cells in place as well, but you can see that they did turn out a little bit smaller than you might expect, and that's because they're supposed to be like that. So the cells actually extend past the boundary of the prison block. So you might think that it's an error on my part, but it's actually, that's how it's supposed to look. So, again, you just have areas of the asylum that intersect with each other, which is really unfortunate. But, yeah, this is pretty much what it looks like here. So these cells right here are the only ones that are, like, complete, pretty much. So these ones actually fit just these 5 cells on the interior side. So the 10 on the exterior side are too big, and they go past the exterior wall into the, out into the recreation area. So yeah, more B block here. I think you've seen this before. However, one new area is the showers. So the showers are pretty much complete. I've even gotten details like the lockers and hand dryers. So the showers has become one of my favorite rooms. This turned out really nicely. So I even took the time to put in all the shower heads here. So they are all in here. And so this room is pretty much complete. And I think, again, it turned out really nicely. So it turned out a lot better than what I was actually expecting. And I do even have this upper area in as well. So yeah, this window right here, these windows are the ones Miles can hang out of when he's trying to escape the twins. And so he would actually be able to see the vocational block from here, well, one of the vocational blocks, and a little bit of the drying ground from where he was, which is quite interesting. And so yeah, I do not have the main prison area complete yet. I have started working on it, but I do not have D block complete yet. But everything else is pretty much done, as you can see. So yeah, it's just that main prison area that still needs to be worked on. Everything else is here. Again, it looks really nice, seeing everything kind of fit together, everything all lit up. And just seeing the rest of the complex from out here, it looks really cool. And so again, just kind of flying over the prison block here. So yeah, there's the recreation area. And kind of flying over the front of the prison block here towards the drying ground. Still need to show off C block here. So yeah, the other solitary confinement wing, which is also pretty much complete. Well, it's nearing completion. So yeah, here's what it looks like. So it is on the left-hand side of the prison. And so it looks pretty similar to B block, with the exception of some material choices and some of the way the light fixtures are arranged. And of course, it's also just a mirror image of B block. And I've also kind of been working on some of the curves here. So some of the corners, they aren't a straight edge. They do have curves to them. So I do want to kind of show that here. And so yeah, this is pretty much it for the prison block. So prison block interior is also slowly nearing completion. And so now we're going to head to the probably the vocational block next. So yeah, this also goes to the mail ward, which leads me to believe that that vocational block, the one we access the whistleblower, is, for male patients. I didn't make a video on this topic. So yeah, there's the mail ward. First, I do want to check out the vocational block here. Again, just like all of the other areas, this is also nearing completion. So we have one of the woodworking shops here, workspaces here. I even took the time to put in all the shelves there. I also put them in some of the other areas. So here's the gymnasium, also slowly nearing completion. I did add some other details in here. And so yeah, gymnasium looks nice. And so yeah, going back to the second floor here, yeah, I've also added in some of the radiators. So yeah, more shelves. So yeah, more of the woodworking spaces, and we also have some of the sewing workshops on the third floor. Still need to add in lights in some of the rooms, but for the most part, this is nearing completion. And so yeah, I am quite pleased with how this turned out. So again, just kind of flying in between the floors, kind of trying to show off some new angles. And so yeah, we have the main courtyard, well, the courtyard for the vocational block. And for the drawing ground, we also do have the electric room in place. So another kind of relatively new location. And let's see if that does anything. Okay, yeah, it doesn't. It's really dark down here, especially in some of these corners that you can't access. But you can still see a fair bit down here, even with the limited lighting. And see, I got all of the pipes in here, some of the electric panels down here. And we got this very long hallway that doesn't have a whole lot going on in it. It's pretty sparse. But this is all underneath the hallway that Wayland uses to get to the vocational block. So this upper portion you've seen before. And here is the drawing ground. So I've got basically all of the pathways in place. And also the water tower, kind of worked on it. And also worked on this drainage ditch, finally got this in place. And so you can see, yeah, that structure there. Some of these kind of sheds. You can also see the prison block and vocational block from here. And the secondary vocational block, of course, which you've seen before. But anyways, yeah, here's the water tower. For some reason, it keeps snowing on the roof, as well as the towers of the administration building, or administration block, sorry. And every time I do remove the snow, it keeps coming back. So I don't know what that's all about. But yeah, this is the top of the water tower with the balcony. You get some very nice views of the rest of the complex. And I'm kind of give you a sneak peek at the attic of the vocational block. So there's not a whole lot up here at the moment. So again, another area that's a work in progress. And you got that shed just off of the vocational block. You've seen that before. And so last but not least, we do have the mail ward. Oh yeah, speaking of which, I have changed this area. So instead of having a large open space, I did make this more in line with what is on the second floor here. So it's just like a bunch of hallways that connect to each other. So it's similar to the area that Wayland goes through on his way to the administration block. And so here is what the top of the male ward looks like. Very similar to the female ward. And you can see I did put in those like little areas, like little rooms that connect the wards, the dormitories together. So like the main dormitories, they're kind of connected by these little rooms. And they also have their own restrooms. So there's a hallway that connects that to a restroom. So the smaller ones at the corners don't have restrooms of their own, only the main ones. And so yeah, that is pretty much it for the mail ward. So just like all of the other areas we've seen, it's also slowly nearing completion. And we have this room. Yeah, the locker room with the showers, which are for patients, I believe. And so yeah, the main takeaway here of this video is that the above ground sections are slowly nearing completion, not just for the exterior, but also the interior, which will really leave just the underground areas, which you have seen. I have started working on the underground areas, like the basements of the administration block and the female ward. And so that pretty much just leaves the sewers and underground lab, which I think I'm going to do the underground lab last. So I will work on the sewers next, and then the underground lab will be the final part left to do. And so yeah, guys, that is pretty much going to be it for this update video. I hope you enjoyed. The next update video will probably be releasing sometime this summer, no later than the autumn time. So be on the lookout for that. I will also be releasing screenshots in the meantime. And so yeah, of course, leave any comments or concerns in the comments section below. And that's going to be it for today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one, as always. So until then, bye for now, everyone.